The federal government has rolled out plans to cushion the effect of subsidy removal and to revamp the economy. Let's bring you some of the initiatives.
We have started the distribution of conversion kits and setting up of conversion centers across the country in conjunction with the private sector. We believe that this CNG initiative will reduce transportation costs by approximately 60% and help to curb inflation. I've introduced the Skill Up Artisans Program, SUPER, the Nigerian Youth Academy, NIA, and the National Youth Talent Export Program, NATIP. 75,000 beneficiaries have processed to receive our 1 million micro and small business single-digit interest loans starting this month. We have also built 10 MSME hubs.
For more on these developments, Federal Commissioner representing Enugu State at the Federal Character Commission, Gene-Kator, joins me via Zoom from Abuja. And the APC Chairman, UK Chapter, Tunde Doherty, joins me via Zoom from London. Good to have you both join me on the program today.
Yeah, it's been a good pleasure having me to be on your platform tonight. How are you? I hope everything is all right, and I hope the protest is a bit off the coast now.
Well, yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay. And I think we'll just take it from where Mr. Doherty, you were asking about the protest and all. It's neither here nor there. You have people gathered, you have government intervene, calling for dialogue, and all of that happening. But, the question just still remains, because one of the big issues has been the issue of hunger, food. When are we going to see the slash in prices of commodities? When are people going to be able to buy at about the same price they were buying, the same rate they were buying before all of these prices really skyrocketed? So that is one of the big questions, and which I want to pose to the two of you on what you think government is doing in this regard, and how soon you think that we can actually have a slash in prices, especially of rice and other commodities. Let me begin with you, Mrs. Gene-Kator, because you are here with us in Nigeria.
Yes, thank you. I'm here.
All right. So I'm posing that big question that's on the lips of people to you. When are we going to see a slash in prices? We've been hearing of efforts, but when do you think it would materialize?
Well, like you said, you don't say them. We are one. We are Nigerians. So whatever affects anyone affects all of us. So I understand the whole cry, the whole essence of agitations and all of that. But I will be on the side of saying we should also look at, light at the end of tunnel. I've always said it, and I will keep saying it, that there's no gain without pain. It could be how whatever you're saying now doesn't mean it's going to be like that. This is how it will be before it gets better. However, like I said, I understand the pain, but we should also be looking at the policies lined up to cushion the effects of poverty. We should also understand that whatever we are seeing going on now is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. It's global. Some of us are privileged to have families in different parts of this world. And I can tell you that is what we see here is worse there. I know how much we're buying some foodstuffs in the US. It's higher now. But the only thing is how, like you said, dialogue. Through dialogue, we could be able to say why it is like that now and what can be done to make it better. But I want Nigerians to also be looking at those policies that we have never heard before. That most times when it's being mentioned, it appears that it can only be achieved in advanced countries like the US, UK, but we now hear student loan. We now see small-scale businesses support, loans, and all of that. But if we will be patient, a bit patient with this government, I still believe, and I still believe that we are on the right path. But if right from the time we started this, I said we should be ready. It's like when you give your life to Christ. You don't expect that giving your life to Christ, meaning that everything will start running well for you. If you are a true believer of Christ, or even the Muslims, once you give your life, say, okay, I'm ready to be holy, I want to serve. There are some challenges that come with this. That is it. So now we have chosen the right man that will take us to the promised land. We should be also ready to be patient to face the challenges that will come with it before we start enjoying it. So we shouldn't have expected right from time that it will just be rosy all through, So I still want to believe that with these policies lined up, the links are there. We will definitely get somewhere.
Okay, let's bring in Mr. Doherty. Okay, let's bring in Mr. Doherty. You are in the UK, yes, Mr. Doherty. And, there are big questions. She's just made a comparison between Nigeria and what is obtainable in other countries. What is it like in the UK? How is the economy there? Because at the moment, we here are looking at an inflation rate of about 34.2%.
Yeah, the economy suffered the same fate everywhere in the world, judging from where the world is before the COVID pandemic, and that has greatly affected every part of the world. So UK is not free from all the ailment of aftermath of war. And if you can, that we've been having protests throughout last week, this week in the UK here. If you look at the shirt that I wore, I was just coming from one of those type. But the difference is that when you have a leader who is a visionary, who I believe has the magic wand to turn situation around. If I take the analysis of my sister, when you get born again, you don't expect that the day you get born again is the day you will totally atone for your sin. You might get born again today and you say you don't want to drink, and there is that temptation for you to even drink, for you to even get into sin. So therefore, it's a gradual process. The problem we have in our country is not today. Since 1960, we have been having such problem. If you look at the papers in 1960, it's still austerity. If you look at it in 83, it's still austerity. But this period, we have someone, the president, who has gone through the rudiment of pains, who has gone through the rudiment of even protest to be in government, who understand the pain. But without pain, there's no gain. Like APC UK, we had an hashtag that we have been using to speak to Nigerians here in the UK, and if you look at it, there was no such protest in the UK. That is because of the fact that we educate the people. We talked about all the initiative of the federal government, even before the president talked about them. Is it the student loan we want to talk about? Is it the CIPG we want to talk about? Is it the nano grants we want to talk about? Is it there are a lot of initiatives that the president is really undergoing. And in the theater, when a very terrible surgery is going on, you don't need to make noise. Otherwise, there'll be distraction. So what is happening today in Nigeria is like when we're in a theater and we need to concentrate on the operation. That is what is happening. So I believe that Nigerians, the pain is there. But for us to see the fruit of all this pain, we need to be patient. We need to educate our people, especially the youth. Majority of the initiatives that the president has rolled out are youth-based. They are those things that will solve problems of the youth. You are going to school now, your parents will not the eagerness of looking for money to pay tuition fee has been eliminated by government through the student loan. Now you'll be given, if you apply for it, you'll be given some subtle loan for you to take to do a basic benefit. When you have a car now, you don't want to run on gas, you go to CIPG plant for you to convert your car. These are initiatives of government that is ongoing. The only thing that I will say is that everybody needs to stand up and help the government to be able to put control in place so that at the end of the day, all of these things that the president is doing trickle down to the grassroots, to those that really need it. The governors need to work with Mr. President. Mr. President initiative is great.
I hear you, Mr. Doherty. Yeah. Yes, we'll take it from there, but that will be after this break. Let's take this quick break. When we come back, the conversation continues. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us on the program. I still have Gene Kator and Anthony Doherty with me as we discuss the issue for the day, which is about the economy and efforts to actually revamp the economy, especially to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy. So before the break, you both made an analogy, talking about, people being at the beginner level or people being in the theater. But then you also know that it's not unusual for relatives and well-wishers to just be around, asking the doctors and nurses, how is it progressing? Is it making progress? Is it responding? When is it going to be out of the theater? All of those questions are not unusual. Coming to you, Mrs. Gene Kator, in the Southeast, there was great peace this period. It was as though, no one came out and, for the protest, really. And a lot of commendation is going to the leadership of these states for being able to, address the citizens and being able to really bring them to a dialogue, which was what is believed, to have ensured the level of peace that was enjoyed during that period. But then also, it is important to talk about how whatever is being done, trickles down to everyone in the country, such that it's not just one part, or it's not just those, maybe at the federal level that get to enjoy these things. What do you say about the involvement of the Southeast in benefiting from, some of these programs of government?
Well, like you said, the Southeast decided they will not be involved in protest. That is because they have come to understand that they are, we Southeasterners are wise people. They have seen that most of these policies lined up also is going to benefit them, benefit the common man. And they said, no, let's give the president some time. So we are not going to be involved in protest. For the first time, I'm seeing Southeast come together in unison to say no to protest. Yes, to dialogue. Yes, of course. Well, you will say the Southeast, we didn't do so much, we didn't get so much votes and all of that. But record still has it that there are people who took their heads out there for the president from the Southeastern region. And I know because of these few people, the president will definitely look towards that side. Because it's all about true democracy, where everyone is given a sense of belonging, where it is equitable. I don't believe in equal sharing. I believe in equitable sharing. Where everybody gets
if I may quickly butt in, this, the Southeast not being part of the protest, could it be as a result of the president signing the Southeast Development Commission bill? Could that be responsible?
Well, they had already decided they won't be part of any protest, even before that came to be. So, and it's not because of that the president also signed it. The president is the president that wants to reach out to everyone, every zone. So it's not because of that. Prior to that time, the Igbos had already made up their mind to they have accepted the president because they also knew that they did not fully support the president during the campaign. But they have him now as the president, and they are wise enough to know that the policies lined up are gearing towards positivity. Meanwhile, look at what has just happened, something that had never happened before. Local government autonomy. Has it ever happened before? Where you now have to have a complete three tiers of government as it ought to be, not the way it used to be. Now,
but you also know, Mrs. Tor,
those are positive impacts of the president.
All right.
Of this time that we have a president that is ready to move this nation forward.
All right, then. Talking about the autonomy for local government, do you realize that there are some local council chairmen who are actually rising up that they are not in support of this? I mean, the ones the old order maintained. Maybe I should just bring Mr. Doherty to respond to that very quickly.
Thank you very much. You see, those that are clamoring otherwise for status to remain, they don't really understand what governance is all about, or understand what development is all about. The main tier of the government that is very close to the people, to the grassroots, is the local government. And the local governments, you look at in the UK here, nobody even think about whether there is a federal government, whether there is this and that. Everybody relies on the council. It is the council that does everything. When you have any complaint, it is the council that you go to. When the road is bad, it is the council that is responsible. So you see a kind of responsible, reasonable, reliable governance. So for Mr. President, who understand the benefit of autonomy for the local government, he has done great things. And I believe that our people, our politicians in the grassroots should open their eyes to make sure that this autonomy is not distorted in any way, because that is how governance is going to get to the grassroots. We are talking about all of these initiatives now. The federal government is doing its own part willingly every day. They are disbursing money every month. We don't know when the money goes to the state government. The state government has that right to say, okay, we are equating this money to that money. I don't want to say anything about that, but a sane society appreciates its grassroots. Your councillor is more important to you even than your MP.
All right, so you believe it is the way to go. Yeah, you believe the autonomy is the way to go.
The way to go is for federal government to make sure that Supreme Court judgment is realizable to the letter. It is executed to the letter by making sure that probably if it is going to be is INEC that will be conducting such an election, where the state powers cannot overrun the powers of the local government, because you see superiority playing games in all of these things that we are talking about. But with this autonomy, you can fight for your right from the local council.
I hear you, Mr. Doherty. I hear you. We have limited time.
To stand up, for the people in the grassroots to stand up and grab what is duly by law their right to. Their right to elect their council chairman, elect their councillors, and make sure that every benefit gets to them.
And I understand also that you have a lot to say about it. There's so many angles to all of this, but we have limited time. Let me go to Mrs. Tor. Let's talk about the students' loan. It's like one of the biggest initiatives of this administration. And just 2 days ago, Nelson was talking about recording the highest number of registrations within a 24-hour period. Already they spoke about disbursing some over 2.5 billion naira to applicants for the students' loan. But then we have ASU on another hand saying that rather than this being loan, why not convert it to grants? What do you have to say to that?
Please take that again.
Yes, I'm talking about the position of ASU that the students' loan, instead of it being loan, should be converted to grants by the federal government. What do you think?
Well, why should they say so? It's converting to grant. Our people don't value. You don't value what you do not pay for. It's also a way. This is what is obtainable everywhere in the world. We are not even yet there to begin to talk about, you can't start what you can't finish. So all we are saying is, in as much as this is positive, and this is an avenue for somebody who desire to further his or her education as a youth, to have an opportunity to do so without being stressed or without being denied that opportunity because of fund. But for you to say they should do it just as grant, most times in Nigeria, there's a way we take grant. We see it as, oh, it's free, so you don't bother. So you value what you pay for. So I don't agree with that. There are opportunities for grant, so everything should not be grant. The way it is what it is all over. It's also a way of making people to be responsible for whatever opportunity you give to them. So I don't agree with that aspect of making a grant. Because if we do so and we're not able to sustain it, it's all about sustainability. If we're not able to sustain it, why do you think chapter 2 of the Constitution is seen as ornaments? It's because you can see that if the government starts going into that to say, okay, it's put into chapter 4, where it becomes a fundamental human right, then that means if they're not able to keep to it, because it's about fun, we are not that very rich, we're not that much advanced, we are still crawling, we're still going to get there. With so much decay in the past, you now want this president again. So by the time he does the first one, give them grant, and he's not able to give them the next time. But when it is loan, Can't you just appreciate it? Because this is loan that you're going to pay. So when you are in school, you will not go into triviality because you know you are paying for it. It will be taken from you when you start working or when there's opportunity for you to pay back. So I don't agree with the making it grand. I don't agree in people not making people being responsible for whatever they get. So for me, I think student loan, it's a yes for this country. And it's something that has long been far-fetched, but now it has come to fruition. So we should welcome it. Once the link is available, yeah, we should welcome it and be able to pay back. It's important because we also need the country to survive. Yeah.
I hear you, Mrs. Storr, and that's just where we'll have to wrap it all up. It's been great having you both give your opinions about, some of these initiatives being rolled out by government to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. Thank you so much for all you have shared with us today. Guinea Kator is a federal commissioner representing Enugu State at the Federal Character Commission. Thank you so much. And Tunde Doherty is the APC chairman, UK chapter. Thank you very much for your contributions on the program.
Pleasure to be with you, Bossa. Thank you very much.
Well, that's our program today. We thank you very much for being a part of it. The Watch and Repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Abosede Adeniro Adireme, wishing you